what have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East.
Yep.
They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day right here on a terrific Thursday evening. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 3.5 hours or so. We'll take you to the end of the NFL game. We do got a little Thursday night football tonight. We got a little college football. We got NBA. We got NHL. Full slate. A lot of people interested in tonight's game. Pretty good game, right? You got Buffalo and the Houston Texans. I don't know if it's a great betting game, but it's got a lot of interest, whatever teams that you're rooting for, or whether you're Patriots rooting against the Bills or your wild card team of the AFC rooting against the Houston Texans. So we should have a lot of fun, hopefully, over the next 3.5 hours or so. Before we get to it, all game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, hopefully the Buffalo Bills aren't enraging me in about 3 hours' time from now. The Bills have struggled historically in Houston in the past, and the Houston Texans arguably have the best defense in the National Football League. And, people talk about yards this and stats that and DVOA this and everything else in between. Well, the Houston Texans give up the least amount of points in the NFL, so that makes them the best defense. That's the way that it works. I throw everything out, right? I don't care how many yards you give up and how many this and that. And truth be told, despite the Buffalo Bills' inadequacy in stopping the run, and they give up 153 yards a game on the ground, they only give up 22 points a game as well. That's why we have such a low total tonight. But we'll find out whether it was a good game or not, whether we won our bets. And that's, I think, how everybody feels about NFL football. So let's do this thing.
All right, opening pickoff time. Let us start there, Gabe. I'll go first. I'm going to be on the other side of you. I'm going to take the Houston Texans. I think I am anyway. I'm going to take the Houston Texans. A couple of reasons. One, they're the home team. Two, it's a Thursday. Three, who wants to lay nearly a touchdown, on the road? That's difficult. It really is difficult doing that at home on a Sunday, let alone on a Thursday on the road. I'll buy the hook if your site doesn't have 6. Take it up to 6 because that's a semi-magical number versus the 5.5. So give me the Texans. Do I really think they're going to win? You know what? I think I'd be more surprised if the Texans at home got blown out with Buffalo's bad defense than I would Houston actually winning outright. So if that's the case, it's not a great pick on my part as far as do I love this pick? No. But choosing one, give me Houston by the hook +6 versus your Bills.
Well, that's not the number anymore. As it is right now, it's 4.5.
Wow.
And you know what? I got it at
Okay.
5 earlier in the day. I didn't put the pick in, fortunately. So it did come down. It's 4.5 right now, universally everywhere. So you got a 4.5 point spread. I'm going to buy the half point, and you can make it 4 right now, as opposed to the 5 that it was basically about 2 hours ago. So there has been a move on the Houston Texans here. Yeah, it's a short week, but the question is, can the Buffalo Bills string together a couple of consecutive weeks of consistent football? And have had a hard time doing it, but they're aware of the stakes. The Bills are obviously still playing for a division title. Josh Allen is 8-0 all-time in his career on Thursday night football. And, short weeks, we talk about this with the European trips. The team with the better record generally wins when you go to Europe. Team with the better record generally wins on Thursday night football. And you dig down deeper from week 11 on Thursday nights, favorites of 2 or more points, 101-68 against the spread. I think it's going to be close to the number tonight, but I think the Buffalo Bills end up winning by what the number was before, by about 6 points. So we'll lay the points with the Buffalo Bills.
All right, and you're right. FanDuel now has it at 4.5. It was 5.5 earlier today. I'll still take the 4.5. I won't necessarily buy the hook to 5. That's not really that big of a difference between 4.5 and 5. But I still like Houston to keep it close. I think it'll be a field goal game. So rushing props will be my next play. Bills have the second worst rushing defense in the NFL. That's the bottom line. And Houston's got a backup quarterback. Now, I don't know if they're necessarily going to get to their numbers, but I'm pretty sure they're going to try. So give me over 61.5 yards rushing. Woody Marks, who's taken over the starting job in the Texans backfield. Like I said, does he get to 62? And that line earlier in the week was in the 50s. So these lines do jump up. I saw it at 62.5. It came back a little bit. So give me over 61.5 yards rushing, Woody Marks.
It went as high as 66.5 earlier in the day today. And I think that people realized, wow, Woody Marks has never rushed for that many yards in a game before. So, right, he's gotten to 62, he's gotten to 63. So now 61.5 is a more manageable number. But speaking of which, the Houston Texans do not want to get into a track meet with the Buffalo Bills. Right? They're going to try to run the football. The Bills give up 153 yards a game on the ground. It's been a problem for them. Can Houston's bad offensive line take advantage of it? Will be another question. Will they fall behind? But with Davis Mills leading the team tonight, and with the Bills being as bad as they are against the run, the Houston Texans are going to try to run the football. They're going to try to eat the play clock up, so they keep Josh Allen on the sideline. Conversely, I'm not sure what Houston are going to be able to do offensively tonight. Now, I don't think this is going to be one of these 6-3, 9-6 type of games, but I'm going to tease the game to the under, and I'm going to look to buy the in-game over once we get rolling if it's a slow start. But 51 points, I'm not sure we get there. I keep coming back to the same type of score tonight for this football game. So let's go with the Buffalo Bills 7-point tease to the under tonight for Thursday Night Football.
All right. I'm going to go right back to the well with my over rushing props here. I'm going to use his partner, Nick Chubb. It's only 21.5, Gabe. He's hit this number 8 of his last 10. Now, admittedly, he's not carrying the ball nearly as much when he was the number one guy. Last 2 weeks, he's had less than 10 carries total. But again, it goes back to you got a backup quarterback and you're facing a team that's got the second worst, statistically anyway, rushing defense in the NFL. Passing defense is can be like, you have your big leads and teams throw the ball against you. Not really indicative of how good your defense can be. Rushing defense, though, it's kind of hide that, So I think Nick Chubb, 22 yards. Like I said, he's had that 8 of 10. He's not going to get a lot of carries tonight, but I think he gets his fair share knowing that you can't hand the ball off to Marks 25, 30 times. So give me Chubb over 21.5 yards rushing.
All right, speaking of running backs, let's go with a touchdown score prop here. The Houston Texans are incredibly difficult to throw the football on. All right, so, and the Bills don't really have a lockdown. Let's go to, number one wide receiver. I don't think Josh Allen's going to have a ton of success through the air. And it should be noted for all you Josh Allen touchdown score props, the Houston Texans haven't given up a rushing touchdown to a quarterback all season long. So will it happen tonight? We'll find out. Give me James Cook, though, to score a touchdown. Let's go with Cook minus 125 to get in the end zone. I think, I think Cook numbers. Cook is an underrated running back, but I do believe that Cook is a big part of the Bills tonight. That's one of the reasons why I like the under as well. But let's go with James Cook, second leading scorer on the Buffalo Bills to score a touchdown tonight.
All right, my last one. I'll throw it out. A little hockey. How about a little shot on goal? Game didn't start for a while, so hopefully we'll have some winning bets to play this even more than we want to. Over 3.5 shots on goal. Jason Robertson, Dallas. It's a big number, right? You need 4. And I don't usually play 4 guys. But you know what? The guy's hit this 4 straight times in 10 of his last 14 games. And now he's taking on a Vancouver team that gives up the second most shots on goal from any team in the NHL. Over 3.5 shots on goal, Jason Robertson.
The Canucks do give up a ton of shots on goal. They don't get a lot of shots on goal either. Our last play of the pickoff will be Gabriel Davis, who's up to plus 400 right now to score a touchdown. So, of course, Gabriel Davis, former Buffalo Bill, returns, right? The Bills are looking to load up and stockpile wide receivers right now down the stretch. So Gabriel Davis returns. Him and, of course, Josh Allen, have racked up some big numbers, have had some big-time games together. Davis did not get a touchdown last week. He caught a couple of catches in his first game in a Bills uniform again. Keon Coleman, once again, benched tonight, and Dalton Kincaid is out this evening. Look for Gabriel Davis to play a big part of the Bills' offense and score his first touchdown since his return, plus 400.
Not bad. A little number there. All right, we are set. Opening kickoff. 4 plays coming up in Game Live.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. I'll throw 3 quickies, Gabe, and you can do the same here before we kick off. Correct score, Buffalo wins 27-21, which, it's got a halfway decent chance tonight. We've come close. We hit it one time, 125-1. I'm going to go Josh Allen. How about this one? I dug deep for this one. Josh Allen to have a 5-yard or more passing touchdown and rushing touchdown. Pretty good stat with Houston not giving up a rushing touchdown to a quarterback, but there's always a first. Here's the good part. They're giving me 18-1 on that. That's not bad. 18-1. Like, I don't generally play things because of the odds they give me, but I'll take a flyer at 18-1. And then I'll go Davis Mills and Josh Allen to each throw an interception at plus 210. You got anything, any correct score, any other place for us?
The correct score, I'm sort of all over the place because I don't want to be hypocritical because I was thinking 23-20 earlier in the day, and that's not a Bills cover. That's not a cover, but I could see the Bills winning this game 23-20. I said that yesterday. As game time approaches here, I think it's kind of going to be a weirder score. So how about here's a random final score for you. I just got this in as well. Buffalo Bills to win the football game, 26-17. 26-17, which lands right on 43. That's 125-1. But we talked about Gabriel Davis and Davis's return to the Bills and the fact that Keon Coleman is suspended again or benched again, a healthy scratch, however you want to define it. I think Davis is going to be a big part of this football game. And I'll tell you what, it was 1.5. It's funny. It literally just moved to 2.5 at plus 155. Fine. I think he's going to have 3, 4, 5 catches tonight. I think he's going to be a part of this football game this evening. So let's go Gabriel Davis over 24.5 yards. Gabriel Davis over 2.5 receptions, plus 155. It was, I swear, Scott, literally as I'm about to put the pick in, I'm like, yeah, I'll put Davis in here, over 1.5 receptions, minus 150. They move it to 2.5. It's like they read my mind. Forget about listening to us. It's like it's like the Matrix. They're connected. They're like, oh, he's thinking about it. We better move it. For the record, though, the Houston Texans get the ball first, so we'll get an opportunity here to get some Bill props in here still.
Yeah, I kind of equate that a little bit to Tyler Lockett, when he was with Geno with the Raiders on Monday night, right? Same type of thing. He's very familiar, obviously, with the Bills' offense. I don't think that much has changed. So I think that would be a big little bonus, for Josh Allen. So that's not a bad play. I like that. Yeah, these numbers do change. You
look at this, Scott. They just moved it back. I swear to God, they just moved it back to 1.5 right now. Some sort of weird little glitch right there. So, yeah, I swear it's 1.5 again here. It's 1.5 minus 150. Gabriel Davis at 24.5 yards. Great call as far as the comparison with Lockett. Exactly. And listen, the Bills aren't the Raiders offense, but Keon Coleman is a starting wide receiver who's been a healthy scratch because he's been late for practices. He's missed a team meeting. He's continuously just upset the coaching staff and his teammates. So they didn't just scratch him for one game, and they're giving everybody else an opportunity. They signed McCole Hardman, but he got hurt. But you're right. Josh Allen knows Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis knows, when Josh rolls out here, he likes if his wide receiver goes there. Just the little intricacies. I think he'll be a part of this. And hell, Scott, we only need 2 catches to win the bet.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad play at all. It really isn't. So I was a little surprised the line jumped the over-under from 43.5 to 44.5. I didn't have a great read on it, but, push comes to shove. I would have said this would have been a lower scoring game versus a higher scoring game with Davis Mills. And I think the Bills defense, as much as maligned as it is, and deservedly so, I kind of get the sense they're up for a big-time performance tonight. It's Thursday night game. They've been ridiculed.
Yeah, but you know what, Scott? I brought it up. I brought it up earlier. As far as scoring is concerned, right? Points allowed. They're ranked 14th in the NFL.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Right? So it's not, they give up 153 yards a game on the ground. Their secondary is good. They don't give up, you know what I mean? You can run on them, point blank. You can run on the Bills. Now, I can't dispute that. But as you stated, as a whole, they actually get sacks. They get at the quarterback. They get interceptions, and they only give up 22 points a game, which is 14th. Put it this way. The Chargers gave up 21.9. People know the Chargers defense is good. Eh? You know what I mean? It's all perception, Scott, and what people think of you, what the expectation of your team was. The Bills' defense is not terrible, but they do struggle against the run. 2 things can be right at the same time.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it was good enough, Gabe, to beat Kansas City. And that's all you really need to. And not shoot in a shootout 44-40. They did a really good job against Kansas City. So that's what I mean by they have the ability to step up when they really need to and want to. So it's a big game. You know, I mean, the Patriots, got a 2-game lead in essence over the Bills. Texans fighting for a playoff spot. They don't want to obviously fall to 5-6. You got a whole bunch of teams at 7-4 and 5-5 in the AFC.
This is a massive game.
Kansas City. I tell you, if the wrong thing happens this weekend, Gabe, with KC, if the Texans win tonight and KC loses, which to Indianapolis they could theoretically, they could be 3 games with the Chargers off. They'll be 3 games out of a wild card spot. Forget about the division. I mean, it started to really fall apart for Kansas City. So if you're a Chiefs fan tonight, you got to be rooting for the Buffalo Bills, believe it or not.
You know, what's interesting, too, I think the Colts plus the points are the play this weekend, but we can get to that later in the week. But as you stated, this is huge. And if you're the New England Patriots, people have sort of given them the division so far. They still play the Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens in back-to-back weeks. All right, so just like that, basically. Buffalo could beat New England, and let's say Buffalo just keeps winning games. Buffalo beats New England, and then New England loses the following week at Baltimore. Suddenly, Buffalo's in first place. And I'm sure you and I will agree with this and kind of wonder and scratch our heads about it, but it sounds like Joe Burrow is going to play this Sunday.
Yeah.
Like against the New England Patriots. Now, I think you can make a legitimate argument, like, what the hell, like, why? Like, what are we doing here? Shut him down until next year. Do you want to get him hurt again? But the fact is there's 7 games left, and he's healthy enough to play.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You're going to tell Joe Burrow, no, you're going to sit for the next 2 months? There's still a lot of football left. So Joe Burrow's coming back. So, what I'm saying is maybe the Patriots stumble against the Bengals here. So I haven't written off the division for the Buffalo Bills yet, Scott. They can still win the division.
Yeah, the fact that they play him obviously again as well, certainly helps their cause. So, yeah, Bengals line is down to 5.5. It was over with that early before the Joey B announcement. In-game live continues. You're on the grid.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one. So we got all the plays in. So we'll let the football game kind of just play itself out of here a little bit. Houston had the ball first. They couldn't score. Buffalo now has the ball, and the line, which dipped to 4.5 when Houston had it, is up to 6.5. It's amazing how you fight for every half a point before the game begins, and then the fluctuations during the game just like up and down, like it's nobody, like who cares, who's got the ball, whatever, and all that fighting for an extra half a point or so, Monday through Thursday before 7 o'clock all gets thrown out the window once they kick off or 8 o'clock. So how about a little polymark? It's no score, right? So Buffalo is -5.5, minus 265 right now in the money line. Polymarket though, you got to pay a little bit more if you want the Bills. It's almost 70%, so you get 70 cents on your dollar. And then the Texans are 32 cents. Meaning you're getting basically 3 shares for every dollar you put up. You're getting 3 to 1. So it's probably a little bit better poly market for Houston because you're only getting 2 to 1 on the money line with the Texans. With FanDuel and the boys in Vegas.
Yeah, right now the Buffalo. If you took the Buffalo Bills at 73 cents, it means if you bet $10, you get $13.70 back.
Right.
So it's essentially nearly minus 300 right now, right? It's dropped because the Bills have the football and the Bills are moving. But similar to live in-game betting, Polymarket has a live stock market, right? So instead of the point spread, it's basically a number. So now it's up to 74 cents. So it could go to 48 cents, etc. Right? And so it's the same thing, but the numbers are different, Scott. It's not like you would almost figure that, whatever, it's the exact same numbers at a sports book, but it really isn't. It's a different animal, this stuff. Like, what are the Bills on the money line right now at the sports book? Like, what are they up to? Are they 300 yet?
Yeah, they're 340, 350 on FanDuel right now.
So you know what? It is pretty identical then, isn't it?
Right now,
it wasn't
like
close.
a second ago. A second ago, it was Houston 2 to 1, and I was getting 3 to 1 on Polymarket. But then it quickly both quickly flipped. But I tell you,
but this will be a good option for people, right? If you have sports books, this is like another sort of, and you don't really have to be an expert, guys, because it says on Polymarket and Kalshi, risk whatever, trade whatever. You know what I mean? So you could put the number in and you could see what you're getting back, and then you could compare it to your sports book and go, all right, let me see what same play. What am I getting back? It is an entire new opportunity to price shop, I guess, Scott, is the best way of putting it.
Yeah. And I tell you, if you're shrewd, now you'd have to shut all the lights off, lock all the doors, keep the kids and family, wives and girlfriends out of your room, right? And if you had the Polymarket open, Gabe, and your favorite sports book open, you could kind of play against each other because I think it's not going to be identical all the time. Like I said, and it might not be open there for a little bit, but there was an opportunity there to bet Houston at 3 to 1 in the Polymarket where it was only 2 to 1 on FanDuel. And so if you had the wherewithal to really concentrate and go back and forth and just worry about, I got 2 accounts, but in reality, in my mind, I have 1 at the end of the day. I made 200, 300 over here, and I made 200, 300 over here. You can middle yourself very, easily. It just takes a lot of concentration and a lot of real quick flipping.
For the record, you know what? I want to get the bet into, and as one of these we got caught up in it. I was going to take him. He was plus 425. I'll take it, but James Cook has already scored a touchdown, just for the record. So touchdown, James Cook. We told you he was going to score a touchdown this evening. Pops the big run. Touchdown, Buffalo Bills on their first drive of the game. I'm telling you, man, there's some good running backs in the NFL, right? I am a big Jahmyr Gibbs fan with the Detroit Lions, but because of Josh Allen, James Cook doesn't get the recognition that he should. Like, to me, he's like legit. Like, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook. Like, Cook's top, 3-4 type thing. And, of course, the Bills missed the extra point, though, just for the record. So, as you were just talking about key numbers, Scott, I was going to say that, too, that people talk about a half point this, a half point that, and point spreads. Yeah, whatever, dude. And then the jackass kicker misses the extra point, and the whole key number thing is thrown out the window. So, here we are right now. The little plan is thrown out the window. 6-0 Bills, now laying 8.5, 46.5 is the total.
These missed extra points are happening so often that it's getting tough sometimes to criticize a head coach going for two because it's not automatic. So people just assume, well, you go for one, you're going to get the one. Not anymore. So that's kind of thrown into his decision making of, well, we might as well go for two. If we're going to miss, we might as well miss for two. 45-yard touchdown run. All that talk about the Texans running, it'll be the Bills that have the big running game. All right, more coming up in Game Live.
What if the game's done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid, hour number one. So, Buffalo strikes first. Touchdown, 45-yard run by James Cook. Extra point, no good. Scott and Gabe, hour number one, by the way. So the line's up to, I'm surprised. I know Texans have the ball. I don't see them driving, but my TV's obviously a little behind. But it's 7.5 for a team that was a 4.5, 5.5 point favorite. You're up 6. I figured that would be a little bit more than 7.5. They only bumped it up a couple of points, and then the over/under is up to 46.5. This is where, Gabe, listen, they're not going to go out of their offense now down 6-0. But how Houston doesn't have a big running night is when they're down 2, maybe 3 scores, and all of a sudden Davis Mills, who's a decent enough backup, all of a sudden has to throw the football 40 times. And so you don't get the handoffs that you thought you were going to get with Marks and maybe Nick Chubb. So 6-0.
That's what That's what the Bills like to do. That's
right.
That's like if you spoke to McDermott and the Bills coaching staff, like that's what they like to. Their game plan is they like to get the lead and then try to run the ball, right? So they try to score early, but the Bills have had a hard time playing 60 minutes of football over the years. And as you stated, Houston aren't going to abandon their game plan, and they're moving the ball right now on the ground. Their offensive line isn't very good. And C.J. Stroud can sort of buy time. Davis Mills can't, but I like Davis Mills. He's a smart quarterback, very serviceable, has been a starter before. But Houston are moving the football right now. They've just crossed midfield, in-game total sitting at 46.5. Bills laying 7.5. I just put a real DGen play in, guys, and we're going to the half right now. And you can get 76.5 over. I played over at Nickel State in Southeast Louisiana. They're just not stopping scoring. Like, basically, Every time they touch the ball, they score. They scored 14 points in the first. Then it combined to put up 38 in the second. Southeast Louisiana just kicked a field goal right. There's still like 20 seconds left, but we're up to 52, and I don't think it's going to stop. I think this is just going to continue. Southeastern Louisiana were big favorites in this game, too. So they could still go on a big run here tonight. So I bet the over there. And the total, Scott's up to 62.5 in Lafayette and Arkansas State, a football game that a lot of people thought would be a lower scoring game tonight.
Louisiana, Arkansas State. Right.
No, it's UL Lafayette. That's Louisiana, but it's UL Lafayette versus Arkansas State.
Okay. I thought I used to live next to Lafayette College, so when I hear you say Lafayette, it's like, okay, Lafayette College. So, and really, honestly, they had one touchdong call back. They had another Louisiana, and I'm going to call Lafayette.
You lived in Louisiana,
had one touchdown call back, and they had a long kickoff return call back for a penalty. Otherwise, you'd have more than 24, to tell you the truth. So,
yeah, but you didn't live in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Over Southeast Louisiana. You got 52 points already. Heck, even if it does slow down, which obviously it probably will, right? You might not get 100 points, but it could slow. It would have to go to like an immediate stop. I mean, you got 52. All you need is 25 more points. That's 4 touchdowns second half. I think you get that.
I think Southeastern Louisiana, and I know it's confusing with UL Lafayette and Southeast Louisiana, but you didn't live in Louisiana. You said you lived by Lafayette. Right? Did you live in Louisiana?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a big difference, Scott. It's a big difference between that and UL Lafayette. But yeah, so they shortened their name for whatever reason. I don't know why. Right? Like they're called Louisiana, but they're really UL Lafayette, ULL Lafayette. But they have like Louisiana. They're trying to play up the state more, so on their name as of late. But you got Arkansas State right now. I'm on Arkansas State to win this football game. Bowl eligibility is on the line. Lafayette at 4, so they're trying to get another 2. Arkansas State trying to nail down one more win. Big play for the Houston Texans right now, so the Texans moving the ball. But we'll keep our eye on this game early in the second quarter. Total 62.5 now. And Arkansas State's moving into the red zone.
Line. Both teams are very similar records. No one team better than the other. Arkansas State was the home team. They were only laying 2.5. And Louisiana they got into that big brawl a week and a half ago. They have 7 players suspended tonight as well. On top of them being on the road. I didn't quite, and here they are leading 14-10. So, crazy as it may sound. I didn't get that, I didn't have it scare me off. You want to give me the home team in a battle. They're all kind of fighting to face James Madison in the Sun Bowl or Sun Belt Championship. I didn't quite get why they were such a small favorite tonight, but here they are down 14-10. So go figure.
Because people think Lafayette are the better team, right? As far as not that Arkansas State had a good record. Listen, Arkansas State were weird. Like they lost a bunch of games, then they won 4 in a row. Now they're coming off a loss, so. They've been very streaky, Arkansas State this year. It's one of these, like you said, Scott, it's a toss-up game. It reminds me of the game last night with Miami, Ohio, and Buffalo, right? Where it was the same thing. Buffalo are playing at home, but smart people kind of knew, don't trust them. And I should have known better because the Buffalo Bulls will let you down. And Arkansas State, for the record, just kicked a field goal, so... Also, as well, Lafayette's quarterback got hurt, except the dude that came in has kind of like provided a spark to their offense. I talked about a great name the other night with Money Williams. The quarterback's name of Lafayette is Lunch. That's his Lunch Winfield, right? Like his real given name is Dwayne, but he goes by Lunch Winfield. Man, you got some wild names, man, in college sports. But I bet him to score a touchdown tonight, actually. The kid can run, Scott. So that's why you're seeing there's a lot of points being scored. I think it's another total we should jump in. I just did. 62.5. We're up to 27 right now. And there's still 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah. And like I said, you had basically 2 scores called back because of penalties. Otherwise, it would be more. So we're not seeing any defense being played so far. Although one of Arkansas State's touchdowns was on defense. But that said, they're going up and down the field. So that's not a bad little thing. Tell you, Nick Chubb, they are running the ball. What do we got? 3rd and goal? What, did they kick a field goal? Or they go
4th
for it?
and goal now.
Yeah.
They threw the ball on 3rd down. It's incomplete in the end zone. Now they settle for the field goal. So, good news, bad news. If you're Houston, it was in a pretty impressive drive. You marched all the way down the field. The bad news is you settle for a 24-yard field goal when it's all said and done. So 6-3 football game. 7.5, 46.5 is the number I got right now.
7, yeah, exactly. Me too on FanDuel. I see that all the time, Gabe, and I get it. It's 3rd down, so I guess I don't have a major problem with it. But they ran the ball right down the field. It's more of a upset with the offensive line. If you're able to run the ball all the way down the field, in essence, get it, 1st and goal, and then all of a sudden you throw the ball on 3rd down because you can't get anything on 1st and 2nd down. No problem with them kicking a field goal there, but it was disappointing if you're a Texans fan. Because, like I said, they ran roughshod right down the Bills' throats there. But like Buffalo, they stopped them when they needed to. Right? You give up 1,000 yards, but if you only give up field goals, then who cares how many yards you're giving up? Right? It's just 3 points.
Yeah, the Bills. That's sort of their. I hate that personally. The bend but don't break. Right. How about we don't bend and don't break? Can we do both? Right. I hate the bend but don't break defense. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we might give up 70 yards, but we held to a field goal after. It's like, well, okay. How about we just get them off the field quickly and terrorize their defense? Like, imagine, Scott, if the Buffalo Bill defense could get teams off the field quick, and then the opposing team's defense has to deal with Josh Allen again every couple of minutes, and they're already still frustrated and tired from the last drive. Right? That's another thing that's just frustrating. The teams are able to chew up time in these games by running the football right down the field on the Buffalo Bills. But we still have 4.5 minutes left. 6-3 right now, 46.5. We'll see what the Bills, if the Bills do on this drive.
But they're on pace to have the ball twice, Buffalo, in 1 quarter. So it's not that's only 8 possessions. It'll turn out to be more than that, but that's what a good running game does. But you're right. It screws up the clock. All right, In-Game Live, Game Day continues on the grid.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight when Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe checking out a little Thursday night football, a little college football. Nothing really changed. Buffalo gets the ball back. Houston just punted. So they're up 6-3, 6.5, and 45.5. Full slate of hockey tonight. Gabe, some pretty good games. Listen, you're going to get some when you get to 10 to 12 games like they have tonight. So not bad. I did my everyone scoring a goal tonight. It was plus 310. Need a couple of teams in these early games, including the Devils down 1-0 against the Florida Panthers. Not thrilled about that. And how about Edmonton tonight being a monster 166? Well, Tampa Bay, a minus 160 and change favorite over the Oilers. 1-11 is Tampa Bay, or is Edmonton at Tampa Bay. So the Lightning have beat them 11 of 12 at home. And then Edmonton's having the struggles this year. So sometimes you look for these goofy lines and you wonder, how come that's so big? And then you find a stat that kind of like, that was kind of my moment. So they're only in the second period. I did like Tampa in the game, and you're getting plus 136 with 14 minutes still left in the second period. So you got well over half the game left. I'll take the Lightning plus 136 at home.
Edmonton are on a serious slide right now for real. Right, they just can't keep the puck out of the net. They've given up the most goals, the second most shots. Pretty much every defensive category, they're ranked like dead last right now. But they are winning 1-0. A team that I like tonight, and it was similar to the other night, Scott, in which the Chicago Blackhawks were actually home underdogs to the Calgary Flames. The Flames were favored for whatever reason. The Blackhawks were plus 100 because Spencer Knight wasn't playing. Similar situation tonight, although the Blackhawks were basically, it was like a pick 'em, right? It was like minus 110, minus 112 or whatnot. We're scoreless right now after the first period of play with Seattle and Chicago, and the number is the same. It's minus 115. This Blackhawk team is hot, man, right? They haven't let up. Like, the run has continued for them. They're 5-1 in their last 6 games. I think their one loss actually was in overtime as well. I think they'll find a way to win this game again. Give me the Chicago Blackhawks in game right now, minus 115. So the game's a pick 'em after the first period of play. Oh, and Josh Allen.
Toronto. I played Columbus tonight. I remember you saying the other night about how Toronto's all banged up. Pick 'em at home against Columbus tonight, right? They were begging you to take Toronto.
Scott.
Yeah,
we've got a serious situation here. Josh Allen's hurt, and Josh Allen never gets hurt, but he's hurt. Like, oh, my God, if you're a Bills fan type of thing hurt. Listen, I thought as the play, I was like, oh, my God, he's going to fumble the ball, right? Like, dude, he was like, he didn't realize someone was behind him. I don't know, is that Will Anderson? He didn't realize someone was right behind him about to smoke him. And he landed awkwardly on the turf, and right away he reached for his knee, man. Not like, oh, he's hurt and he's tough, he's going to get up, he'll be fine. Like, right away, man, like he started twitching his knee around and he reached for his knee. All right, thank God. He is walking off the field right now. You'll see, like, he doesn't normally go down like that. That was like an oh, my God moment. So we'll see how serious this is. But he seems to be walking fine. For the record, Mitch Trubisky is the backup for the Buffalo Bills. And it is fourth down anyways right now.
I see him now kind of floundering on the field. I wonder, Gabe, if he landed on the football. Like he landed and then he automatically started kicking his feet.
Was he winded?
That's
a bad thing when you land on a football, actually. It's not fun. I mean, SGA talked about that.
Wind taken out of you. I've had it once or twice. It's a scary little, you can't breathe. You can't do anything.
Because you're right. I don't know. I want to see the replay because you're right. Because it was a weird play. Like, he didn't get, whatever. He got hit from behind and he sort of fell forward. So here's the hit here. Falls forward. I think you're right, Scott. I think you're right. I think the ball landed on his stomach. You could see because he was twitching around like he was in serious pain, and now he didn't even go to the tent, Scott. He just went to the bench and sat down.
Walking around like he's fine.
So you could be right. We'll find out. After the game, I guess, or I don't know, we'll have the sound down. I always say I should put the damn closed captioning up, but to find out
your whole situation, right? I mean, you talk about
that's why I was like, oh my God, I saw him floundering. I'm like, oh God, that's that.
Yeah. I mean, just like, wow, all your dreams just right out the window.
The Bills are not the same team with Mitch Trubisky, Scott. I'll be the first to admit that. You can't just like, what are you gonna do?
I think the Steelers are just as good, if not better, with Mason Rudolph. I'll argue that, but Mitch Trubisky, no, that's not, not this year.
The only thing with Mitch Trubisky is they have him because he can run the same offense in their mind. Right? He's the same body size, same, he's got a strong arm. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, can he do the things Josh does, but we'll rein it in a little bit more with Trubisky. But that's why he's there, because, in their minds, he's a poor man's Josh Allen, right?
Right.
Because they used to have like a Matt Barkley as their backup. And it's, to me, Scott, you want your backup quarterback to be the same style quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As your guy. You don't want like, oh, yeah, we have Lamar Jackson and everyone else is a pocket passer after. It's like, well, no, like if our guy goes out, we want our offense to just run the same after. You want to have the same type of body, the same type of strengths. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it'll be curious to see if he has to even miss a series. His last look walking on the side looked like he was going to be fine. They did punt the ball, so he's got a couple minutes. I'd be a little surprised if he wasn't back out there very next series, but never want to assume.
Speaking of hockey, though, man, the Montreal Canadiens. Speaking of another team that's just in a free for all right now. Yeah, this team is really struggling. This is the thing with young teams, guys. Right? You want to anoint them early in the season. We're at the quarter point, actually. We just hit like basically the quarter way of the National Hockey League season. But to me, Scott, it's basically talk to me after Christmas, right? And then into January, that's when it's sort of like baseball, man. It's like, all right, yeah, good for you. You had a nice April. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you're still winning in May, and okay, yeah. Oh, we're still winning in May. Yeah. Talk to me in July, right? Like talk to me after that third month. There's sort of these cutoffs where teams start to like, oh, yeah, we're not actually as good as, we're not as good as our record was. And the Canadians are like, they were like 10-2 or something like that. So reality has kicked in for them. But they've lost like 6 or 7 games now, Scott, if they lose this game tonight. Like, it's getting real for them. It's quite a slide they're on.
Yeah, they are. Where are my notes? Yeah, I don't have notes on that one. I'll give them the notes when we come back. And Sport Hockey Plays. Game live on the grid.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. So, what it was a generally faster moving first quarter, but they're still in the first quarter. So 6-3. Houston failed to get a first down, or at least has to punt the football. So Buffalo will get the ball back, and I see Josh Allen throwing on the sideline. So
I got a pick here too, Scott. Just before the drive starts, for people who want to get in on this, it's a bold one, but James Cook. So we're going to go over James Cook total rush and receiving yards in this game, 135 and a half. 135 and a half. So he's got 11 and a half. What's that? Sorry. What was that run? He's up to 57 55. Receiving. Let's see. So 55 rush yards. And what's he got receiving?
Receiving, he's got 2.
I think he got a catch. He's got 2, right? Yeah, so 2 catches. So, Scott, look, he popped a big one. So, dude, we're still in the first quarter. He's going to be a big part of this game still, right? So, imagine he pops another one for 40 or 50 yards. Like, he's going to get there. Now, the Bills are starting this drive on, like, their own 4 or 5 yard line as well, which could help. He just got stuffed on first down. He might have picked up a yard or 2. But I know it sounds high at 135 and a half, but when you consider the amount of yards that he's already putting up in this game, and he hasn't really touched the ball very much. He just happened to pop a big one, right? So as you stated, I mean, he's got 56 rush yards right now, and 2. I like that. He's got 1 reception for 2 yards. So, yeah, he's got 2. So we're up to 58 already, and we're in the first quarter. So I'm going over 135 and a half. You're seeing, guys, the Bills' passing attack will not be super successful against this Houston team. Now, they just picked up a first down as I say this, but they're not going to throw a million passes tonight. This is going to be a run-first game for the Buffalo Bills against this Texans defense.
And by the way, you see who already has 1 reception for Buffalo?
There's Gabriel Davis. Boom.
There it is.
And, you know, Scott, that was a pretty chunky one, too. What did he pick up here? Did you get in on that with the Davis?
Yeah, 22 yards.
It's 24 and a half, his prop. 24 and a half.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that was a good, we said it, we pointed it out, so hopefully you guys capitalized on it. That had all the earmarks of Tyler Lockett. I mean, coming back into the fold, having one of his receivers, Keon Coleman, not be playing tonight anyway. I'll double check and see what the numbers are, but I would still play, Gabe. I think he's going to get like 50, 60 yards and probably 3, 4, 5 receptions tonight if Houston stays competitive.
This is why we played him to score a touchdown at plus 400. Like, how often are you going to get a starting wide receiver at plus 400 on a team that scores 30 points a game? Right. And, he's good friends with the quarterback who wanted him to come back and join the team.
Right.
Like I just said, they're going to run the ball. But, Scott, if they get inside, like if they throw into the end zone, they're going to dial a play up for Davis tonight. He didn't score a touchdown last week. It was his first game back. It was like, quick. He just got back in there. Now they've had, it's still a quick week. I get it. But put it this way. Gabriel Davis is going to score a touchdown, Scott, at some point, right? So plus 400 now. It's almost like we talk about the home run props, right? All right. I didn't take Davis to score a touchdown last week, so I'm going to take him now. If he doesn't score this week, I'll take him to score next week. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to score a touchdown eventually for the Bills, but I think it happens tonight at plus 400.
Yeah. I'll tell you, our props are, off to a decent start. All right. I gave you Nick Chubb over 21.5 yards. He's got 16 already. And they're still only giving you 31.5. We gave you Woody Marks at over 60 or so, 61.5. He's at 38. That's up to 81.5. So obviously the James Cook one looking pretty good. And so we're, the props
I already gave a winner here. Yeah, James Cook already scored a touchdown. That was was one of my picks. James Cook scored a touchdown. So, Arkansas State up 2017 right now. So, and as I stated about that game, and the total was 61.5, I said, this game's not slowing down. So we're up to 37 right now. In-game total, 72.5. It's track meet city tonight in the college football world.
What did we get, a safety out of Nicholls State? It's 31-23. Was it at 31-21 before?
I still have it at 21.
15 seconds into the third quarter, we got a safety, unless they got one before the first half. I know.
Yeah, you know what? They didn't get it before. They just did right now somehow.
Wow. All right.
You know what? I could pop this game on, actually. I have money on it. I have Nickel State plus 16.5 and the over now. So maybe I should find a stream for it.
Yeah.
I've got some real DJ stuff tonight, Scott. I'll bring it up on the other side, but you like trends and streaks. There's a Ontario Hockey League that hasn't lost this year. They're 16-0. Yeah. There's lines on these games. They're 16-0. They're winning. They're winning 3-0 right now.
That's neat.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In the 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2 of our 3.5 extravaganza. We'll be here till the end of the Thursday night football game, which Buffalo does have the ball. They're on the move, and they're leading at 6-3. So let's talk a little NFL with our good buddy SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time here on the grid, Adam Kaufman. What's going on, Adam? How are you tonight?
Good, gentlemen. I would like a Nico Collins sighting at some point here for the Texans, but that would involve Davis Mills completing a pass, so kind of an uphill battle at the moment. Other than that, interesting game. A lot of things that I was interested in that are trending in the right direction. One thing, though, that I was woefully wrong about, and granted a 45-yard run will do that to you, I didn't think this was going to be a James Cook game, at least not on the ground. Maybe rushing receiving combo. We saw him go for almost 70 receiving yards last week. This is a top 5 run defense on the other side for Houston. I thought that Marks was going to have a good game against the subpar run defense for Buffalo, but I thought Cook was going to be stifled here in this one. We're a couple minutes into quarter number 2. He's sitting at 75 yards on 7 carries. So he's all of not even 10 away from passing the pre-flop number, and whatever in-game number you want to invest in, he might be cruising to get there too.
Besides Josh Allen, he's the Bills' best player.
Oh, he's right? The weapon, and without a doubt.
If they would use him more, right? If they would use him last year in the playoffs, a good example, right? Everything was great, for the Buffalo Bills, and Cook was lighting the Chiefs up, and of course, they didn't give him the ball in the fourth quarter. right? That's been their problem. Buffalo moving the ball, though. There's Johnson with a big catch. So Buffalo up 6-3 on the move right now, guys. And the Texans' offense is going to be in trouble if they fall behind by double-digit points.
Well, you know they're going to have to pass. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Did you play Marks? I played Marks. I played Chubb as well, Adam. I thought both guys. And you know what? The way we saw Davis Mills try and throw a couple of passes there, even if Buffalo scores here and make it a 2-score game, I still don't think Houston's going to go out of their offense. They're still giving you pretty good numbers on Marks and Chubb right now.
Yeah, I didn't go near Chubb, but Marks I went over. You know, the lowest number that I found on him pregame was, I think, 61.5, and I went over on that. And, you know, to me, this was a ladder spot as well. You know, take him to 75, 100. You know, you don't need to go crazy beyond that. But there are just certain matchups, guys, that feel like, boy, we could be in for a career day. And this one for Woody Marks felt like it here. Again, it's not a good Buffalo defense. People have scored on them left and right throughout the season. Very poor, bottom 5 against the run.
But he had never, he's never rushed. He's never rushed for more than like 64 yards in his career, though, right?
No, but he's also really hasn't become, you know, a premier back in any way, shape, or form until the last 2-3 weeks. They've started to realize, wait a minute, you know, we kind of have something here. We should distribute these touches a little bit better than we have been, as opposed to, you know, to shout out Mean Girls, make Nick Chubb happen. I mean, I don't know why. We're still seeing a fairly even distribution right now, 4 versus 3, and who knows? Like you guys said, if the Bills come down and score and take a 2-score lead, then maybe the run game kind of evaporates anyway for Houston with the urgency on throwing the ball. But that's you gotta establish the run to set up the pass with this team. If it's all on Davis Mills, then I think this could turn ugly in a hurry.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, Davis Mills is 1 of 8 for 10 yards. You know, meanwhile, they've run the ball 7 times for 54. So they're averaging 7.5 yards a carry. And then they got a quarterback who's 1 of 8. I don't know how, you know, even if I fall behind 13-3, I don't know how many times I'm going to be throwing the ball. I still would stick with the run. So I still like those Marks and Chubb numbers. Although I must say,
well, and of those 8 targets, by the way, you know, nothing for Nico Collins, you know, who is your clear weapon. You know, Dalton Schultz as well. I'll put him into the equation, and he's been targeted the one time but doesn't have a catch. 4 targets, guys, of the 8 have gone Jaden Higgins' way. He's the guy that's got the 1 catch for 10. But so I don't know. Maybe it's just as simple as obviously the way that they are defending Nico Collins and kind of taking him out of this game. But he's a good enough, elite enough receiver. He has to create spacing for himself and figure this out.
They hold him to a field goal. 44-yard field goal. 44-yard field goal. The kick is good. It's amazing, isn't it? And we brought it up with Scott earlier, like Adam, but so they missed the extra point, Scott, but the guy makes a 44-yard field goal, of course, right? Like,
yeah.
They're like NBA players. They'll miss the free throw, but they'll hit a shot from half court. Like, or they hit a free, like no problem, but they'll prick the free throw. But we got a 9-3 game right now. So as you stated, Adam, and I did think I teased the Bills to the under. I didn't think this game was going to be a track meet tonight.
No, I was debating between 2 things. I was talking this out with some friends earlier, and I liked the under. I liked the Texans to cover. And I was debating, you know, do you put them in a teaser, right? Do you tease it to, let's say, not like a full 6-point, but maybe you do take the Texans to plus 10.5 from the 5.5, and you move the total from 44.5 to 49.5 or 50.5, something like that. And that was around minus 110, minus 115 or so. Ultimately, I felt like I was trying to thread too big a needle, and I went with the under. I had more conviction in that than I did in Houston to keep it close, because I could see this thing ultimately going sideways, despite how we've seen Mills and the Texans play the last couple of weeks against bad defenses and winning those couple of games without C.J. Stroud. To me, the underplay felt like the play, and like you said, some breaks have gone our way from missing the extra point. Houston definitely looked like it was going to score, winds up getting held to a field goal. And how here Buffalo looked like the Bills were tracking well for a touchdown, and they end up settling for 3 as well. So 12 points, still 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's a long way to go when you're trying to finish under 44.5, but at the moment, getting some breaks.
You're a little surprised. I am that a 6, 5, 6. I know dropped to 4.5 before the kickoff, but for the most part, a 5-point favorite is up 9-3. They're up 6 points, and yet the point spread hasn't really moved much. It's 6.5. Normally you get a 4, 5, 6 point favorite, and they're up 6 early in the game, and it'll bump to 7.5 or so. But there must be a lot of money already on Buffalo. They don't want to, or on Houston. I mean, although the line dropped, so maybe that's it. The line drops, so many people are betting Houston that they're not going to give that many more points than what they gave originally.
I think part of it is that Houston's about to get the ball, obviously, with an opportunity to score and either trim the 3 or even take a lead. Right. So I think if Houston is forced to punt here, it goes back to Buffalo. You're going to see that line climb with the Bills having the ball up by 6.
Yeah. I bet it goes over a touchdown if the Bills have the ball. It's got to. It's definitely
it'll pop up to 8.5. Yeah, it'll pop up to 8.5 if they get a stop here. But Houston have moved the ball, right? They settled for the 3. They were moving the ball. The only reason they kind of stopped themselves, he should have caught it. It was bad footwork by the wide receiver, Higgins, to not stay in bounds there. So, but this is a big-time drive for them right there. You got to stay within striking distance. When you got Davis Mills and a limited passing attack, you really can't fall behind by too many scores.
Yeah. How about Joey B? Looks like he's coming back. We got Jackson Dart coming back for the Giants this week, and we got looks like Joey B's coming back for the Cincinnati Bengals against your Patriots.
Yeah, I think it's fairly shocking, isn't it? I mean, not as the week moves along, but certainly the way we were talking about this thing before he was ever out at a practice yesterday, we were saying best case scenario Thanksgiving. That was all the reporting for Cincinnati. This, to me, it reeks of desperation, if we're being honest, guys. That's what this feels like for Cincinnati. This team, 3-7 right now, losers of 7 of 8, have dropped 3 in a row. You're obviously down your top wide receiver, not only your top wide receiver, but a top 3, if not number 1 wide receiver in the entire NFL because of sheer stupidity in Jamar Chase spitting at Jalen Ramsey in that last game that lost to Pittsburgh. And so, Burrow has said as much last week that his determination on when he was going to come back, the team's record and how much they need him was going to factor into that decision. Granted, you got to be cleared medically. If the toe's good and he's ready to play, you play him. But there are a lot of teams to leapfrog, obviously, for Cincinnati. And this Patriots defense is stout. That Bengals defense is historically awful. Drake May and company are going to put up points. Joe Burrow or no Joe Burrow, Patriots roll in that game.
Adam, good job as always, man. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
All right, guys.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Thanks again, Adam Kaufman, for joining us, as he does from time to time. We got Brady Cannon, Tom Vecchio. They'll join us halftime and in the fourth quarter as well. Get some thoughts from them. So just matriculate the ball down the field. Houston Texans, as Hank Stram once said, Scott and Gabe watching the NFL football, in addition to all the other things, just stop trying to throw the ball. Just run the ball. Davis Mills, 3 of 11 for 38 yards. You know, he's got just as good a chance of throwing it to the opposition as he does.
They have a 4th and 1 now, and they're going for it.
Right? Yeah, you have to.
4th and 1, they're going for it.
9-6.
The Bills could have had the tackle. They actually hit. It was Joe Mixon. This time, yeah. So they actually hit him in the backfield, but he ran someone over. Actually, it looked like they were going to get the stop, but hard fought first down. I thought maybe they were going to settle for a field goal. The long field goal prop tonight was 52.5 for the record. But they moved the sticks. And this is, this game script is going exactly the way we kind of thought it was, Scott, right? Yeah. Houston, their offense is kind of, it's pedestrian at best. They're not going to want to get into a track meet. They are doing a good job of killing time off the clock and sort of marching the ball down the field. We'll see if they can finish it off. They just threw the ball into the end zone on first down, and I thought it was going to be a touchdown, but it's incomplete.
Once again, put themselves behind the lead.
They could have the lead. They scored a touchdown here. They have the lead. It doesn't feel like it, but they could have the damn lead.
Right? It's like
it's weird.
They've been dominant the whole game. Like the lead.
Yeah, like all this talk about Houston, it's like Buffalo could be losing in a second here. Like this, that's the bizarre world, isn't it? Like, if you look at the numbers here, I will look at the box score, but this is where they have problems, right? And we see this often with teams. It's easier to move the ball, guys, in between, the 30s and stuff. Once you start to get into tight spaces, there's not as much room, and you can't just spread everybody out. Now we got a penalty on the play. I think it's on Houston.
You want to hear a good stat, which is, proof positive what you're talking about with this Texans team? Oh, wow.
So
what we played, 10 games? In 10 games, Gabe, right? Houston Texans, 10 games. They have 1 touchdown from inside the 5-yard line. Tied with the Saints for the fewest in the NFL. That is like mind-boggling. Like
it's bizarre world because Joe Mixon used to be so good at getting into the end zone, like sort of that Kareem Hunt thing, right? From the 2 or 3, whatever. It's like, right. He's not a great running back, but he's good at scoring a touchdown, right? Like he'll get you a touchdown. He doesn't have that. It's their offensive line, Scott. Their old line is terrible. Right? Yeah. It's really tough. Like, look at now. Even now, they just ran a little reverse and it got blown up, but this dude's making a play of it. Wow. So we got, Scotty, here we go. It's 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line right now. It's 4-yard line. So we're going to find out right now.
Did we put the kiss of death on that, right?
I hope you did.
That is, that is so like, from the 5, not from the 1, from the 5 in 10
from the
games.
5.
I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing they're 5-5, knowing that, right? I mean, that's a lot of touchdowns from outside the 5-yard line, which is generally, tough to do, right?
Yeah, they feel like a worse football team to me. Like maybe they're not as bad as it kind of feels. Like it feels like they're terrible. So it's 2nd and 1 now, but they are on like they're on the 4-yard line here, so they can pick up a first down actually without the touchdown. But they'll probably just plow it in. Buffalo. Oh, look at this. Buffalo get a stop. They actually lose a yard, so it's going to be another sort of 3rd and 1.5 here. You called it, Scott. We'll see here if they get stuffed over and over. They probably kick a field goal. They probably they're not. Yeah. This isn't Dan Campbell. Like I think they're not dumb. They'll be like, all right, listen, just make it 9-6. I don't think Ryan's the type of dude that goes for it here.
Yeah,
I would kick
especially
the field goal.
If they lose yards.
Like if I got stuffed here again, I'd be like, yeah, all right, just take the damn 3 guys. But that's not really the way the new NFL works.
Yeah.
So we're going. We got timeout here.
3rd down, 2nd down.
No. So I don't know what the ref is doing here. I thought. So no, we're going here. All right. So it's a 3rd and 1 from like the same spot. They lost like half a yard, but they're calling it 3rd and 1.
Here's another reason why. I know this doesn't make that much sense, but here's another reason why I kicked the field goal, Gabe, because I've had 2 downs, if not 3 downs, to get a yard, and I failed. Why should I have a 4th chance? I would do it in spite of my offense.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
You know what?
I said the same thing. Remember with the Packers?
Why should I reward you?
That happened with the Packers. Remember Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs a couple of years ago was pissed off. LaFleur kicked a field goal after, and he was like, and it was like, it was like the biggest thing ever. And I said the same thing. I'm like, guys, you just had 3 cracks at it and lost yards.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather take the 3, right? And they were down 7, though. It was one of those deals. They were down 7, but there was like, maybe 5 minutes left in the game or something.
Yeah, I think I remember that game.
It was a playoff game. It was Rodgers' last game with them. So, like, it wasn't as crazy as it seemed, actually, as people made it out to be. So Houston gets the first down, but they don't get the touchdown. So they're chewing the clock up in the process here. They got first and goal from the 2-yard line right now, and their helmets look like Christmas ornaments on a Christmas tree.
They're those uniforms.
It's like a shiny red.
Damn ugly. It's all red. You got a little black stripe down the side, but it's basically all red top, all red pants, all red uniform, all red cleats, and all red socks. I mean, really.
Well, the red helmet, it could be cool. It kind of, I don't know, it's kind of Louisville-ish, if anything, right? But
cool. You need something
but a helmet, but you're right.
White.
Yeah,
right?
if they were wearing a white jersey, if they're wearing a white jersey or something, you would be able to see the helmet, but it's all just a mishmash into one, and it's got to be a damn nightmare for the poor play-by-play bastards up in the, on the upper deck of the stadium that are trying to read the numbers on the back here. Like, play-by-play guys hate these jerseys, guys. Like, sometimes in the NHL, man, like some of these teams, like, guys, you got black names on a black jersey. Like, I mean, what, I'm supposed to tell by the way the guy skates? Right? Like, that's the way you're supposed to tell. And we got a touchdown pass. And just like that, guys.
Wow.
You believe that? Just like that, the Buffalo Bills are losing the game. Christian Kirk touchdown.
Still in the league, Christian Kirk. Wow. So there you go. We mentioned they only had 1 touchdown inside the 5-yard line. They actually get one here. And after being dominant basically the whole game. Yeah, right? It was Davis Mills, I'm sure, was half.
Yeah, but the irony of the Bills' bad run defense stuffed them like 5 times in a row, right? And they had to throw it. Like, so, Buffalo's run defense stepped up, and now they give up a touchdown. Wide open, too. Like, where's the defense there?
All right, we'll update the line when we come back.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe update all the lines, including some of the NHL as well. Houston did score the touchdown, as we mentioned, and kicked the extra point, so they lead now 10-9, 3.5 minutes left. It's down to 3.5, and in the over-under, basically where it was to start the game, 44.5. So it's kind of on pace. You got to figure Buffalo, they got to get at least a field goal here. That always happens. So 10-9 with the Bills getting the ball back. Like I said, getting down to 2.5 now. Hockey.
I think the in-game over. In-game over is the way to. In-game over is the way to go here with this game. It's going to open up, guys. I'm a little bit worried about my teaser now, even to the under. We're already at 19 points. Houston are moving the football. If you look at Buffalo, their defense is all over the place. They're always out of position, like their lanes, the angles that they take. Houston are having success, right? If not for Davis Mills missing a couple of passes, a couple of drops, dude stepped out of bounds, Houston would have more even. And you're not going to stop Buffalo's offense. I know Houston's defense is good, but Buffalo are going to get some big plays, and I would expect Buffalo to score on this drive. So I just took the over 44.5 during the commercial break right now, expecting Buffalo to score on this drive. And if not Buffalo scoring on the drive for the total, even worse. Interception and pick six, touchdown Houston. Wow. I got the overplay, and I thought Buffalo were going to score. There's a flag on the play. I don't know if the touchdown stands, but there's an interception, and Josh Allen doesn't. Josh Allen's walking off the field right now, so he doesn't seem to think the flag is going to save them. And there's Sean McDermott with us. Let's see.
Wow.
I like Sean McDermott. So, no touchdown. The touchdown taken off the board. Sean McDermott after the interception. He said both quarterbacks threw an interception. After the interception, Sean McDermott's looking at his chart. It's like, okay, bro, look at your chart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to help us. Like,
what's the chart?
What are you doing? You know what I mean? We got the play's still going on, too. Right away, he writes it down. It's like, okay, you write it down. Josh Allen interception, 3 minutes left. Yeah, and they return it. But yeah, what's the penalty? Was it illegal block or whatnot? So, there it is. It's on the fifth. It's on the penalty happened on the 15-yard line or so. Blocking
it was
the back.
Legit penalty. It was pretty clear too. And he was
that's a real penalty. Yeah. Would he have made the tackle though? I don't know. It was kind of a dumb move.
You know what? I don't think so. You're right.
Like I'd be mad.
He was there.
I'd be mad if I was Bullock, Scott. Like I would not real mad, but I'd tell the dude after I'd say, bro, you cost me a touchdown. I was going to beat Dawson Knox there. You know what I mean? Around the edge.
You know he's got to stand it at the 15 and then the guy returning it is already momentum going past him.
Yeah, exactly. And he already went past about 7 other guys. So why wasn't he go past Dawson Knox? You know what it is, though? Defensive guys, they're not used to blocking, man.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? They're defensive guys. So suddenly you got a return going on, and suddenly.
Yeah, you get all giddy and excited.
Yeah, they're fired up. They're defensive guys. They're like, oh, F yeah, man. They want to hit something. But, Scott, that wasn't a block in the back. Like, he smoked him in the back.
Yeah.
He shoved him in the back type of thing. Yeah, it was a penalty, but you call it a block in the back, but it was more of a wrestling power slam in the back. Like, he just came up and shoved his ass down. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have to do it.
He was Cook was the guy, the tight end. He was going towards his right.
Knox. Dawson Knox.
Knox, rather. Right, Knox, sorry. He was going towards his right, and the returner was going towards his left. So they were going, separate. There's no way Knox would have been able to stop and make that tackle. That kind of reminds me. I don't know why. Go ahead.
It's pretty big, too, because they're going backwards now. They just lost. They lost yards, so they just pick up some yards. But Buffalo holds them to a field goal here, to a field goal attempt. After all that, they get tackled at the 25-yard line. They go backwards on the drive.
That kind of reminds me. I don't know why I hold on to these things, Gabe. It's weird how you remember these things, right? I was playing high school football, and I was the quarterback at the time, and gave the ball to the running back. He's running down the field for like an 85-yard, 80 whatever touchdown drive, or touchdown run. And as I'm running down the field, I just shove somebody. He's running down to try and make the tackle, but he's like 50 yards, and I just shoved him. Why? I don't know.
Did the ref call the flag?
Oh, he did. He did. Yeah, the running back wasn't happy.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight where Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So we have the 2-minute warning first half here. It's 10-9. Texans got a lot. In fact, they just did. They kicked the field goal, so it's 13-9. They kicked the field goal, so Buffalo will get the ball. Last chance to score. So if you had the, will there points be scored in the final 2 minutes? You're a nice, easy winner there. A couple of seconds in, but a winner is a winner. So
Buffalo still favored.
Yeah, it's still, I was going to say, Houston's still an underdog, getting 1.5.
Minus 150.
That's a pretty good price. If you really like Buffalo to win, I don't mean you, Gabe, but just in general, you're down 1 score. You got the ball back. Chances are you got to kick a field goal here. You would think anyway, at least. It's not a bad little number, minus 1.5.
No, I don't disagree. You know what? I wouldn't do the 1.5 though. I would just do the money line. I got a 2.5 at Bet365, but. Listen, if you're on 2.5, it's an even number. The problem is, look, it's 13-9. Weird things can happen in this game. Buffalo can miss another extra point. Somebody could go for 2. Like, there's a weird game flow to this game, isn't there? Yeah. Like, it felt like Buffalo were dominating, but they're losing 13-9 right now. It's bizarre.
I think we've only had 2 punts. Yeah, Buffalo's got 1. I think the Texans punted 1 time. We've had some turnovers. We've had field goals and long drives turning into field goals. My
God. You want craziness? We don't get a lot of these.
Kickoff return?
Kickoff return for a touchdown.
Wow.
No flags. No flags.
Wow. This game's going to go over. thanks to defensive touchdowns.
In-game total is 53.5 now. Well, thank God I jumped. I said it. I jumped in right before the interception. I said, hey, there's going to be points. It's you know
Davis?
what? It's Davis, but it's the wrong Davis.
Yeah, okay. I don't think he returned.
It's Ray Davis. It's Ray, not
it might
Gabe.
as well be,
We got two Davises on the Bills.
Yeah. Wow.
But think of this game, like I was just saying, it's the weirdest game ever. Like, does this game feel like there's been 29 points scored in it?
No.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, yeah, it's been action-filled. Oh, my God. Like, look at all this going on and all the points in the game. No. Like, nothing has really happened. Yet here we are right now, and it's a 16-13 football game, right? Cook popped a massive run, a 55-yard run, whatever it was, 54, whatever it was, the run.
45, yeah.
45-yard run, kickoff return for a touchdown. The Houston Texans have been given the ball, like, on the 10-yard line or whatever. Yeah, this is the weirdest game ever. But, yeah, my Bills teaser, I hate betting unders. I had a bad feeling about it. I was like, I should just tease this thing with the over instead. But, you know, I'm on the Bills. I jumped in. I was smart enough to say, all right, screw it. I could be wrong on this, and I might middle it. So I got over 44.5. But it's 53.5 right now. And now Houston have a buck more, you know, a little under 2 minutes to work with here still.
Yeah. So, listen, we said it, right? You gave out the over. I said if you really like Buffalo, get him basically a pick 'em is not a bad time to do it because you figured they would score. Not anticipate a kickoff return for
now
a
it's
touchdown.
minus 300. Yeah, that was quick. Yeah. That was a quick turnaround. That was minus 300 for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that didn't take long. Your opportunity was there. So 52
Ray Davis is good. He was good at Kentucky. I don't know if you remember him. He was the running back at Kentucky. Yeah, it looked like he was tackled and he popped out of it. I look up. I'm like, oh, he got out of it. Like, yeah, he's gone. Yeah. You never see that. How many touchdown returns have there been for kickoffs this year in the NFL? I never seen them. They never happened with this new stuff. They didn't happen before in modern because the kickers used to just kick it out through the end zone. Now this year, you get returns out to the 35 or so like that, but I don't know. I'll look it up. There really hasn't been that many kickoff returns this year. Like, seriously, like, I'm thinking, like, 3 type of things, Scott.
I remember the Patriots did it against the Dolphins after the Dolphins took the lead late in the game. I can't forget that one. So that's one.
Was that Trevion Henderson?
A couple. Yeah. I don't know who did it, but I remember it may have been him. But it was late in the game.
I think Arizona might have once earlier this year. I'm going to look it up. How many touchdowns? Yeah. It's always going to be hard to find this stuff, but how many? I'll look up NFL kickoff return leaders for the year.
Yeah,
we'll find out. NFL kickoff leaders.
I bet it's less than 10. I would say there's probably about, I'd say 5 counting this one. 4 or 5.
I'm saying 3. It's not 10.
A lot more punt returns. There's a lot more punt returns. I know that, but kickoff returns. I'll go 5, just because I'm going to give them. I know we have 2 right there, so I'll say there were 3 more that I don't remember. But
kickoff returns. Antonio Gibson. Let's see. Kick return touchdowns. Did he? Is this? Was this from this year? I want to make sure.
Right.
Got to believe this is. Was Gibson the one that did it for the Patriots against the Dolphins?
I don't remember. I just know they did it. I'll tell you in a second, though. I'll look up Dolphins.
For the record, I'm seeing 3 right now, not including this one. So this would be the 4th one.
4th one. Yes, Gibson was the Patriots game. Yep.
It was. Okay. So yeah. So these are. I just wanted to double check. You always want to confirm these stats. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, Scott. Like I said, I was bang on. I said 3.
Yeah.
So that's the 4th one. That's the 4th one only. That's how rare they are. That's how rare they are.
Yeah, well, the kickoffs now because the defenders are already down there, so it's a lot. You don't have as many variables of running 50 yards down the field and getting the blockers up there. It's basically like a line of scrimmage. I'd actually think there would be more.
The New York Jets, Scott, for the record. That was the other one. The New York Jets. They did it. The Jets. Remember Nagwanu. The Jets.
Yep.
Nagwanu.
Yep, that was one.
Yeah. So you remember the Dolphin one. I remember that game too. Late in the game, like you said, I was on the Dolphins in that game. I remember the Jet one. I was like, yeah, I said Arizona, but it was the Jet one. And the other one is Charlie Jones of the Cincinnati Bengals, which I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Who did he do it against? You remember? It
No.
wasn't the Bear game, right? It wasn't the Bears. They'd scored touchdowns in that crazy comeback with the Bears. So it wasn't. I don't
Let's
think it was
see.
that one, but, you know what I don't like? I see these teams doing this more and more, Gabe. I don't get the strategy. Now, obviously the defenders on kickoffs aren't lined up at your own, 35-yard line. They're all the way down the field. So they have less opportunities to.
Oh, he did it against the Commanders, Scott. See, we leave no stone unturned here. He did it against the Commanders. He had in a 31-17 game against the Commanders. Yeah, that's his. That was his only touchdown.
All right. But I'm seeing more and more teams kick off to one side of the field. And I don't know, I might be missing something, but I think that hurts the defense because if you kick the ball to the right side, now all those players to the left side can't get to the right side because they're already, it's so far down there already. You kick it in the middle of the field, you have both the defenders on the left and the defenders on the right that can make the tackle. But if you kick it to only one
they
side,
want to use. They want to use the sideline. They want to use the sideline as their friend.
Right. I don't like that.
Right, the 12th defender. Right, they're trying to jam himself. And you and I talk about it. Nobody can tackle anymore, so you're better off telling these dudes, listen, just push them out of bounds. Right, like you get them on the sideline and you shove them out of bounds, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I think they're incredibly unimaginative on special teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And, the only team that tried something the other day was the Raiders, but you don't do it when you're losing after you give up a safety.
Yeah.
They tried the onside punt.
Yeah, the onside punt.
I've never seen an onside punt before.
Yeah, that's so Raider-like, right?
Because it was a free kick, but people want onside punt. Like, the Raiders gave up a safety and then thought it'd be a good idea that, the wheels have completely fallen off in this football game. Why don't we give the ball right back to the Dallas Cowboys right now by trying something that nobody in the history of the NFL has ever done before? Let's try an onside punt. Like not an onside kick on the free kick. Like they could have tried like some weird like onside kick thing. No. Yep. They tried like a punt where they punted it in the air. Like, of course, like Pickens was the one that caught it of all people. Like
crazy. All right, Texans on the move. Points might not be done yet.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like you just hit a heavy stock. Like you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight when Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So last we told you, we said the Texans were on the move, and they are. They're inside the Bills' 10-yard line. Kind of moment of truth here. 9 seconds left. Run another play or kick a field goal. Let's see what our good buddy Brady Cannon would do. SportsGrid host you see here all the time here on the Grid. What's going on, Brady? How are you tonight?
I'm good, guys.
Hold on,
and I'll tell you, what do you got?
We've got a touchdown. We've got a touchdown. Like I said, but there's a flag on the play. I think it's on Buffalo, though, again. Wow.
I haven't
touchdown
Texas. Yeah. I show 19 now, obviously extra point on the way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 touchdowns.
This is one of the strangest games ever, Brady. This is one of the strangest games ever.
Getting a good one on a Thursday night.
Oh, it's
right?
entertaining. It feels like a bowl game, this game. It feels like a college football bowl game. It's like we're watching a Fiesta Bowl now or something.
Take it one step further and call it the Holiday Bowl because there's no defense. In this game. And you have one of the best defenses in the Texans. You and I were talking about it off air. Obviously, you're a Bills fan. I love the Bills. I think all the way. But they are absolutely the NFL's version of USC. Offense is nearly unstoppable, and the defense, especially against the run, just can't stop the other side. The Texans are not a great offensive team, and here they are with 20 points going into half.
I thought the extra point was missed, but it was in. I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of that. Maybe I'm just getting old and senile, like where I'm like, that's no good. I think he missed the extra point, but I was like, I say whatever. But I can't believe it. After all this, the Bills are losing, and so what's the updated number now? We were just talking. This is so wild, guys. The line move.
Still a favorite.
Yeah. In this game, though, me and Scott just said before, the Bills were like minus 150. And we're like, oh, yeah, the Bills are going to win this game. They're going to come back. It's a good price. And boom, they returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah.
They went all the way to minus 300. Now they're all the way back to minus 125 again. Like, this is a roller coaster. And the total is 57.5 now, guys.
Wow.
Crazy number. I would only bet the under. I mean, what was this, 43.5 at kickoff or so? Maybe 42.5?
Yeah, but Buffalo can't stop Houston. I hate to admit it as a Bills fan. We can't stop them.
I understand, but I'm just saying, trusting the original number. You know, this is a lot of the times I like to, way I approach
the original number was wrong.
Yeah,
no doubt. But is the true number 14 points higher than the original number? I don't think so. So I would, and it's up to 58. I'd play under 58.5.
Wow, it just popped to 59.5 now. Dear God. Wow. For me, 59.5.
You might even get a 60 because I think people are going to run to the window and bet the over. You know, off of what they've seen so far, you got to have a set of stones to play the under, but I think that's the right way to go.
How about Buffalo? They get the ball first. You get them back down to pick them. It's only a 4-point game. You know,
I you guys that I think they're going to find a way to win this thing. Yeah, I mean, roughly a pick 'em on the money line. Maybe they're a slight underdog. You know, we talked
nothing's
about
easy with these guys, huh? With the Bills. As a Bills fan, I'm telling you, nothing's easy with his team. Like,
I think they're going to win.
All right, you know what?
I do believe they're going to win the game.
Have a nice Thursday night game in Houston, you know. All right, it'll be low scoring and boring, but we'll come out with the win.
Get out of here and win this one 20-17 or something. No,
yeah, like you said, Brady, the odds makers made it 43.5. It's freaking 2016. It's like a wild college football game, this game.
You know, the MAC is gone, so the Bills figured they'd substitute in and, you know, give us a little MAC-tion on a Thursday night.
New MAC-tion. Yeah, Pac-12 after dark.
Well, this plays right into, I mean, listen, it's only 20. It's not 21, guys. But when teams score 21 points against the Bills, they're 7-27 against the spread since 2022. They win, you know, most of those games, but they don't cover most of those games for whatever reason. They don't
That's really interesting. And I guess that kind of goes to what we're talking about the Bills, at least the 2025 version, and maybe past editions as well. They could win a track meet. You know, a knockdown, drag it out slobber knocker is not really their cup of tea. But we saw it, you know, to start the season when they came back and beat Baltimore. We saw it last week against Tampa Bay, and then they covered the number in that game. Maybe that's what we get here as well. Yeah. Maybe that's the recipe for success for Buffalo.
How about these numbers, guys, in Bizarro World? So everybody said before the game, well, the Buffalo Bills can't stop the run, and, let's take marks and the running back to the over. Davis Mills, 122 passing yards in the first half. Josh Allen only has 88. Who would have thought that Josh Allen's the one that's thrown the interception, not Davis Mills. Like, Davis Mills is outdoing Josh Allen tonight so far. So for the record, Josh Allen passing yard prop now, 209.5 at Bet365. I don't know what you got at FanDuel, Scott, but 209.5. What do you think, Brady? A couple of big plays coming through the air for the Buffalo Bills in what's turned into a track meet. 208.5, isn't that? Guys, he's already at 88. So what are we talking about here? Like 121 yards type of deal? Like,
all he
in the
has
second
to do
half
is
to win a bet?
Davis Mills in the second half, and he gets over 208, right? So, all kidding aside, I would play this under the 58.5, but I don't think there's any way you can hold Josh Allen under 125 yards passing in the second half. I just don't see that happening.
Here's the problem. They've had success rushing as well. Listen, 45 that came from, one run, but still, even if you threw that out, Cook's got 6 carries for 30 yards. So he's got 7 for 75 right now. They're averaging over 7 yards a carry, or 7 exactly. So it's not like, well, we're not running, so let's throw the ball. I mean, they got basically 2 less possessions, right? They had the interception on first down when they had the ball with 2 minutes left, and then they had the kickoff return. So Buffalo's had the ball, in essence, 2 less times than Houston.
You're right, but how about this? And this is what it's led to, guys. So, but I was just saying, we love these betting opportunities, guys, where the wide receivers, you need one catch. Guys, everybody on the Bills pretty much. If you look, Gabriel Davis right now is 1 catch. His prop is 1.5. It is minus money. But James Cook has 1 catch. His prop is 1.5. Josh Palmer has 1 catch. His prop is 1.5. Shakir's got 3. His prop is 5.5 right now. Shavers doesn't have a catch, but man, it's rare, Scott, you see the Buffalo Bill wide receivers. Like, this looks like a Raider box score.
Yeah. We'll take a look at it with Brady when we come back on some winning props, second half on the grid.
It's almost like betting the stock market. The good part about it is you can take a bet today. In the 2 or 3 days, if you nail that bet, you can be able to cash out, Joe. Like, you just hit a heavy stock. Like, you go into Sun Microsystems or whatever it's called, and you buy into it. In 3 days, you can sell it for a massive profit. Do you understand these markets, Joe?
I do understand the markets. It's amazing how some of the predictive markets seem to have the answers before the test.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
8 3-minute rounds. The gloves are 10 ounces. And Anthony Joshua weighs like 250 pounds. So I'm not really sure how this is going to end up happening. But this is one of those. Normally, I don't give credit to the Paul brothers. And, I give them credit for being great on social media and creating a lot of buzz for the sport. I give him credit for getting in the round with Anthony Joshua. This is not like a Mike Tyson fight when Tyson's 60 years old.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Travion Henderson and a few others have the Pats at 9-2. Is excellence back in New England, Joe?
Excellence is back in a big way. Mike Vrabel came back into town. Drake May has come out of his shell, and Travion Henderson has come out of, I don't know where he was. He was in obscurity, but he had 3 touchdowns on Thursday night.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's take a look at a couple of narratives here and play a good game of fade or not fade. And first up, well, the idea that the Chiefs are going to put it all together and win the AFC West, well, that's absolutely gone. Absolute fade from this point on, Donnie, with the Chiefs. Their 10-year reign is over. It's done with.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number 2. Talk with Brady Cannon. Just for comparison purposes, because Gabe and I are getting into this a little bit. If you put $100 on the Texans right now on FanDuel, we'll say, you're going to win $92. If you put $100, Gabe, on the Poly Market Texans, you're going to win $212. Wow. So there are, if you have the wherewithal to do both. Poly Market gives you, some decent, odds sometimes.
We were talking, Brady, about this new predictive market stuff where you can basically trade on everything. They call it trading, not betting.
Sure.
Regulatory stuff. But like everything, will aliens be announced? Who's going to be the president of Romania? Whatever, dude. The price of Bitcoin tomorrow, will it go up or down? What I'm saying? The imagination runs wild with everything. There's literally millions of options, that's what people like about it. But the sports leagues are big time involved in. Me and Scott were talking about it's a new market right now, and it's the same game. So we're playing the compare game. All right, put $100 there and put $100 here. Let's see what pays more for the same wager, et cetera, right? The Buffalo Bills, like you said, there's a difference, Scott, right? So there's a new way to shop for lines. We'll put it that way. There's a new market in the business now that that would be smart to play and have the availability to, if you want to place you're going to play a game, and if you walk down the street and there's 2 stores beside each other and they're selling the exact same product and one of them has a better price, you're going to go into that store, right? So. To me, it's good to have as many availability, options as possible.
No doubt about it. That is great for a sports bettor to have all kinds of different stores and outs and whatever. But my first reaction was not that I should
and
go
hedges
play
too. Sorry, and hedges. Sure. I was just going to say different ways you can maybe hedge things, but sorry,
all kinds of different stuff. But again, my first reaction to your comment there or Scott's comment rather, about the difference in payout, price, what have you, on Poly Market versus FanDuel, my first reaction was the ability to read the market. And it gives me another angle to kind of look at. I'll look at all the sports books and say, wow, the Sharp book has it at this price and the Square book has it at this price. If the exchange market is paying me twice as much for a Texans win as a traditional sports book is going to pay, that tells me that the general public out there, feels that the Bills are going to win this game. I happen to kind of agree with them. But I like it from that perspective, Gabe, that it gives us another, outlet to kind of consider in our handicap.
So $212 if you bet on the Texans versus $92. So $20. $20, it's like 20%. And then on the other side, Buffalo would be plus $88 on Poly Market and almost $85 on FanDuel. So that's similar. But listen, even if it's $3 or $4, what's the difference? You want to give me $3 or $4 extra money? Why would I not take it?
When you bet $3,000 or $4,000, it makes a difference, right?
Yeah, this is a big
exactly. Basically, exactly. Do the math, and if you play 15 plays a night or 20 plays and et cetera every day, do the math adding up over the length of a year. So I just put a couple of plays in. I guess I'm just a mark here, but I'm going to ride the wave. I think there's going to be more big plays in the second half. So let's go Davis Mills. Thinking outside the box a little bit. Davis Mills over 216.5 passing yards. He's already at 122.
Yeah.
Think about it. Guy's already at 122. Buffalo are going to score in the second half, right? Mills going to throw the ball. And all the talk about Houston running the ball, they're having more success throwing the ball. The middle of the field is open all the time.
Right. We can get Josh Allen and Davis Mills over their passing props, guys, and those drives result in field goals, and this game can still stay under.
So you really don't think we get to 58, huh? Because it just moved to 57.5.
There you go. That was the bet I made.
You don't think it gets there, huh? So you bet the under, huh, Brady?
No,
what about you, Scott?
Good.
I don't like betting unders. You know why? I don't like going against line movements, and it moved from 43.5 late to 44.5. I like Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night in particular. Those line movements, I don't know why, guys, but I've noticed it. They are more true right than a typical, pick a Saturday, Sunday afternoon game. And so I'm suspicious on going under. I'll go with the over if I had to. What's your one lock,
I
Brady?
am on the Texans for a 10-point teaser, so I'm hoping they can stay within 15.5.
Okay. Looking pretty good at this
looking
point,
pretty
right?
good. Yeah, right now.
You can't stay within 15.5 now. You're in trouble. Great job, man. As always, enjoy the rest of your night.